Your question stems from absolute positive fear. You shouldn't do this. This isn't for you.
Hello?
You have questions.
I just want to know, like, once you get the laundromat or the location, how do you handle, paying for, like, the utilities, the washers and dryers that you would be getting? Because you don't know the cash flow, because you're not really talking to the previous owner.
That's two different things. Utilities and equipment costs.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't do this. This isn't for you.
Why?
We had a consultation. We talked for well over an hour, and we talked about every single bit of this. You texted me the same question that we had discussed. So your question stems from absolute positive fear. Fear of failure, fear of falling flat on your face, and that's a good thing, a very good thing. We consulted, we had a very lengthy conversation, and today you text me verbatim, "Hey Danny, since we're not purchasing a laundromat and instead signing a lease for the infrastructure, how will I pay for new washers, dryers, and utilities?" You see how fearful that sounds? So I just want to back up. If you bought a laundromat, give me a price. How much is the laundromat for sale that you bought? This is, fictional scenario. Mm-hmm. How much?
$200.
$200. I know, 200,000. All right, good. So they were asking 300 and you gave them 200. Is this your life savings? Do you have that kind of money, or did you get a bank loan for it?
A bank loan.
You won't get a bank loan to buy a laundromat. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you told me I would. But if I was doing it the way I'm thinking the average person goes about buying a business.
If you want to
either
buy
use our own personal money, family,
if you want to buy a McDonald's, do you know what's required?
I think you said on one of your videos you need like $1 million or something like that.
Oh my God, you're a fan. Yeah, I know at one point it's simple. It's $1 million liquid. You yourself, your family, your trust, you have to have $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And a letter from McDonald's that says, yeah, we need a store on this corner. You'll never own the dirt, they do. You'll have yourself a job.
Mm-hmm.
In order to own a laundromat, you can go about it a million ways. I have this montage of images fluttering through my mind of all of the people that start by emailing me because they found me online on YouTube and they say, I'm about to buy a laundromat. What do you think of this? Why would you? A couple in Florida, it's $175,000. Okay, do you have that money? Well, we have 75,000 of it. This couple has worked their entire lives and saved that much money. And the other 100, the owner who's selling the business will float us. So you're going to give them $75,000. You're going to owe them 100. Do they own the building? No, they don't own the building. It's a leased business and leased space. Does any of that make any sense to anyone? So to answer your question, we talked about all of this. Now you're concerned about how you're going to pay the utilities? Does a $3,000 a month gas bill scare you?
If cash is not flowing in, kind of, yeah.
How much will your gas bill be if no one uses one washer or one dryer for 30 days?
You still got to pay something for it. I mean, I know you're going to say zero, but it's not zero. It's like, at home, even if I don't use it, I still have to pay something.
$28.
Really? That little bit?
If you don't use your gas at all, for how much do you think your gas bill will be? They charge you a service charge. Does a $3,000 a month gas bill scare you? It does, because you didn't answer immediately. And then you want to mince words with me and say, well, it's going to be something. So it's $28. Does $28 a month scare you?
No, not $28.
You know what should scare the living shit out of you? Having a $28 a month gas bill. That means that your food truck isn't selling anything. We talked about how you're going to finance your equipment. If you go to every distributor today, Monday, you make a list and you call them all up, they're going to worm their way into your mind and your pocketbook and find out how much money you have. And if it's not enough, and I'm not asking, It's none of my business. It's no one's business. If it's not enough, they're not going to offer to buy you lunch. That's why we don't need distributors at this early stage. As promised, I told you that if you needed anything to send me a text, and if it was a short question, I would text you back. And if it was something that needed a lengthy explanation, I would call you. You are important to me. What's plan B? If you don't do this, what is the plan for substantial wealth? Your personal life and your family and your grandkids. Seriously, what's the plan? How am I going to pay for the equipment and my gas bill? And I told you shouldn't do this because you're scared. So what's the alternative?
There's none. There's no plan B. There's no plan B.
You said it. If there is no plan B, then you put your head down and you do this. And you have someone to help you with all of it. This is about fear. Your story has not yet been told. And you were having your morning coffee and it hit you like a freight train. How the am I going to pay my gas bill? How am I going to pay utilities? And how am I going to pay for the equipment? I have laundromats for you. We talked about everything. And what you texted me was a reiteration of the same question that had been asked and answered. And then it was topped with a huge cherry. And that cherry was what? Fear. You've probably figured out that we're on YouTube, and someone has been chirping. His name is Joe Dan Reed. This guy's got laundromats up the wazoo. And if you want, let's put another voice in here.
What's up, brother? You doing all right?
I'm well. I'm excited that you're on here chirping away with all your little comments about, I don't know. I didn't start reading the comments, but I saw you in there. So Joe Dan, meet, you know, she's very early on in this. And if you were listening to the whole live, comes from a working class family, as do you and I. She's interested in real estate. You own tons of real estate. You've got your chateaus. See, I remember this stuff. Of course.
Of course you do. Well, because we talk.
Yeah. Well, we're
like mad.
We are friends. I don't have that many friends, nor do I need more of them. So how many stores do you have, Joe Dan? That's what everybody wants to know at the laundry conferences, right? How many stores?
10 stores. And then
10.
I just purchased a $2 million warehouse.
Nice. How did you get the money for the warehouse?
Oh, leverage with the stores.
The cash flow from the laundromats. Give us the elevator conversation. Who's Joe Dan Reed?
Well, I'm a guy who takes a risk, and if you don't take a risk, you shouldn't even be on this phone call. To be honest with you, if you are willing to take the plunge into this business, what I had was I didn't have Danny D'Angelo. If I had Danny D'Angelo, I think I might have 30 stores right now, because what you do, you go in here and he leads you to the water, and you just have to drink it. But the thing is, I have 10 laundromats because I was able to be successful on the first one, and it will be if you put your mind to it and you just work it. You know, there's no such thing as passive income, and look at it like that. It's becoming very passive daily to me now because I have a management team working everything, so I'm not there much. So it allows me to do a lot more, and it allows me to. Now I took the laundromats and then I bought property. You're wanting to buy property and then get laundromats, or whatever it is you want to do. But property takes a long time to get net income, and when laundromats will get you the income immediately, from what I have found and from what I do.
I'm just realistic with that. You know, I'm not the anti-property guy. I mean, I bought 2 houses last month. Everybody's freaking out. Interest rates are high. Well, I pay cash, but that all came from the laundries and from getting my exit from the laundries, which you will do. You'll do the same thing. Are you still with us? Well, we lost.
She hung up.
She was so sick of listening to our dumbasses.
I'll tell you, of course it's scary. And if it wasn't scary, then everybody would do it. But the difference is, she has a mentor. She has a course. Most of us didn't have that luxury. So could you imagine going into this thing? I mean, I left 3 or 4 laundromats on the table because I wasn't sure of the unknown. When, if I look back, I wish I had taken all 4 of those, 3 and 4 at once. There's so many opportunities out here, and you have the mentor to make sure that this happens. Yes, you're going to fail in some aspect of anything you do, but I mean, you're here. That's part of it. I mean, you're here. That's the biggest part. And then you have this big support group of all these people who are on the line right now and on the internet.
Well, I always love how you toe the line, and I appreciate it a lot because you know that free laundromat is real, and you say that a lot, and I'm never looking for you to repeat that, but it's you and I both, our passion. I can speak for me, not you. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but my passion, the reason that I do this, why is my course like under $300? There's other people that have $5,000 courses in laundromats, and I consult with people and they say, I don't understand why you charge so little for what I got. And I say, well, listen, I want to get through to people like I do. I really do. I'd rather see people get into it where it's very, very comfortable for them.
Let me put it to you this way, Danny, real quick. If you look at anyone else's course out there, and this isn't putting anyone down, who is the only person selling free laundromat? Now, they may say free laundromat, but they have other options to purchase. You're the only person. I'm going to get you in here, free laundromat. Now, I have 10 laundromats. I didn't pay for one of them. Not one of them.
It doesn't make, there's people on this YouTube that don't understand that, and we're not going to go into in depth, but it's rented space.
I'm pretty sure this hot water heater's got a few more good years left in it.